Hey everyone, welcome to Real Talk with Ellison, and I am Ellison. Listen, if you are on Facebook, please go ahead and hit the like button and share this out. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe and make sure you hit the bell so this way you know when Real Talk with Ellison goes live. And also, send it out, share it out, because on Real Talk with Ellison, we talk about issues that impact the community, and we definitely deal with feeling, dealing, and healing. And with that being said, we're about to get this show started. Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in to Real Talk with Ellison, and I am Ellison. Well, as you can see, it's just me. My baby girl was supposed to be on here with me today, but she decided that we still needed to talk a little bit more about our relationship before she came on the show with us. So I guess when we go shopping this weekend, we'll have that conversation, right? So, but anyway, we still have a dynamic show as we're going to talk with Jaquita as well as her daughter, Sienna. They are going to be joining us in this show when we talk about the mother-daughter relationship, right? So let's give it up for my beautiful co-host, aka Jay, and her daughter, Sienna CC.
Hello.
Hey, CC, I promise to be good, CC. I'm not gonna do that to you, CC. I promise.
Yeah, she's looking a little nervous, but it's gonna be fine.
Hey guys, hey.
Hey.
So, Sienna, thank you so much for, taking this opportunity and from your busy schedule and blessing us with your presence on Real Talk with Ellison. We appreciate you, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm welcome to be.
And I want to just say this. We just keep it real. Y'all know how we do. We just keep it real. So don't get nervous, don't feel nervous or whatever. And if it's something you don't want to talk about, you be like, let's keep it moving, and we'll just keep it moving, right?
Okay.
All right, so that's good. So listen, like I said, we have been reading a book called Mothers Who Can't Love by Susan Forward. If you have not gotten this book yet, please get the book. If you know someone who's going through with mothers and daughters, Christmas in May, okay? Get them the book, all right? So the book is awesome. I love the book. It has a lot of great nuggets in it, and it also has a lot of guides on how to help us maneuver through it. Mm-hmm. Woo! So let's go ahead and get into this topic here on today. So listen, first of all, a strong mother-daughter relationship, right, is built on certain things. It's built on open communication. You got to have some understanding of the other, empathy, definitely respect, and healthy boundaries, right? Do you guys feel like y'all have healthy boundaries? Let's just start there.
I feel like I do. I feel like I have a good understanding with my mother.
Okay.
We have a good understanding. To me, I feel like we do.
Okay, Sienna, you don't have to talk up a little, just a little bit louder. I heard you talk, girl, so act like you talking to them friends.
Yeah. She's just a little nervous. She said she can't.
Okay,
But see how loud I'm kind of talking, so this is where we at. But tell them again.
So you guys feel like y'all have a good understanding. So, between Jaquita and Sienna, tell me the dynamics of y'all relationship, right? Tell us a little bit about that so the audience will understand what's happening here.
Okay. So the dynamic of the relationship with Sienna and myself is Sienna's not my biological daughter, but she is my daughter. My husband and I raised her since she was 6 months old. Her mom and her relationship is rocky and just trying to have spaces of understanding. But we've raised her since she was 6 months old. Sienna came to us. My brother and his girlfriend, which is her mom at the time, they had a baby, and Jeremy and I lived in Virginia. So it took us 6 months to meet her. So the plan was to get Sienna for 2 weeks. So we came home for a family reunion in 2005, and we got Sienna to fly her home. So 2 days, maybe 3 days after we flew Sienna home, Hurricane Katrina hit. So the plan was to bring her back in 2 weeks, which was by September, which would have been my brother's birthday, which is her father. So my brother is her actual biological father, and her mom is not present. So I stepped in as the acting mom, and my husband stepped in as the parent and second dad. So it's kind of like she was raised by me with two special men, her father and my husband. So she had the best of both. And my mom actually assists with helping raise CC in itself. And I think along the way, her and her mom were trying to have a relationship, but we'll get to that. But that's
Yeah.
the dynamics of CC and myself. I am CC by heart and mind and spirit. And
Yes.
blood wise, she is actually my niece, but
Yeah.
she comes from me.
Yes. Exactly. So two only for 2 weeks in CC. Here we are, what, 18, almost 19 years later.
Yep, almost 20 years later.
Almost 20 years
Mhm,
later. But
mhm.
so even though, I heard Jaquita say you had the best of both worlds, right? Tell me a little bit about the relationship that you have with Jaquita.
I consider it as my mama. I tell
Mhm.
everybody when I introduce them as she's my mother. I don't tell anybody, oh, that's my auntie. So
Mhm.
yeah.
That's fine.
No, you good. So
Mhm.
to answer your question, what's the dynamics of our relationship is coming up having CC in our world has been a definite joy. It has had its stop doing your face like that. So coming up with having CC in our life and our dynamics is it's great now. Over time, the first few years it was good, and then you come up and bumping into the teenage years, they get a little womanish, I guess, and smart mouth a little bit.
Yes. I mean,
We've
that's
always
with any child
any
though, you
kid.
know? Yeah.
I would say this though, by her not being mine, I never experienced the what's the word I'm looking for? I never really experienced much of her lashing out as far as faulting anyone for not having her biological mom in her life
That's
much.
good. Mhm.
We were able to kind of shift through it. I found myself to be very open and a strong communicator with Sienna for her to be able to know how to communicate and reciprocate what I was saying and being able to
Right.
receive it.
Yeah.
But we've had some bumps in the road, like you said, with everyone. But I think the dynamic of Sienna and myself, it works well. I think us kind of looking alike too, like she mine, kind of makes it extra sweet.
Well, all y'all look alike, so
Yeah. So
so
we have a good dynamic.
yeah.
Mhm.
So Sienna, right? Jaquita doing a lot of talking. So I'm gonna ask you this, right?
Mhm.
Because sometimes whether it's stepmoms or bonus moms, whatever you want to call them and stuff like that, did you ever have the thought like, you know, you're not my mom, even when those teenage years come, because that's when the years come where most children who are not with their biological parent tend to feel like, well, you're not my mom, you're not my dad anyway. Did you ever feel like that at some time? Maybe during chastisement, I think that mostly comes up.
No, not really. I really never really thought about it because I was always with them, so it really
Mm-hmm.
didn't bother me when it came down to that. It's
Mhm.
naturally, no, not really.
Mhm.
Okay.
Have you ever thought it like to yourself too? Like besides Ellison saying, if you have you ever said it out loud verbally, but to yourself, have you ever thought, well,
When
I
I
would like
was
to be around my mom.
when I
Why am I
was
not?
little,
Hmm.
like probably in like the fourth grade to like eighth grade, sometimes I used to think that, but when I got to high school, no, it was naturally, like I said, it really didn't bother me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I know you guys have a great bond, right? And of course, like any other mother daughter, you do have those bumps in the road. So, how do you feel you guys handle those bumps in the road, right? Because, Quita, do you feel like you were maybe a little more lenient because of the absence of her mom, or no, you just was like, listen, she mine and it's how we rolling?
I felt like she was mine, and this is how we rolling. I didn't sugarcoat anything with her. I treated
Mhm.
her as if she was mine.
Mhm.
With her not having her biological mom around, I feel like she was mine, and I felt like I would chastise her or talk to her and communicate in the form and manner that I chose to, which
Mhm.
actually worked out in a good way. And we have had our little bumps in the roads where she hit the teenage phases where she became rebellious and everything. But thankfully, she's never felt like you're not my mom. You don't tell me
Yeah.
what to do. She's
Yeah.
always accepted me, respected me, and loved me for who I was um, as her mom.
Sienna, you was rebellious, girl.
No, not really.
Yeah, she was
Not in your
rebellious.
eyes, anyway, right?
No.
Yeah, she was rebellious. She was that little teenage. She went through the little phase where sometime I would talk to her and I say, Cece, I'm really trying to work with you on every level I can without popping your butt. So
Right.
let's talk about it so we could get through it. I've always been an open communicator to Sienna. I feel like with me and her though, I felt like she never said you're not my mom, but I felt like for a while in a few years she did not open up to me the way I would have liked her
Yeah.
open up to me, and I partially feel like because I was not her mom, or she didn't really know what it felt like not to have a mom because I loved her as she was mine. But
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, in her little small phases between 10 and 15, wherever she went through, whatever she went through, she just was like, wouldn't verbally say it, but she didn't really communicate with me the way I thought she would have.
Right.
I was so
Yeah.
open to it.
Yeah, and you said that, and Siana, I'm gonna ask you a question. You say that, right? Because I was even reflecting on myself and my relationship with my kids, right? And I didn't have that good relationship with my mother, so I was like, man, I'm gonna do everything I can to have this relationship with my kids. But that's where we as mothers have to realize we can't expect to have the relationship with our children that we wish we had, because everybody's different, right? Everybody's different. Everybody has their own agendas in life. Everybody has their own walk in life, different things like that. So even though you had the bond with Jaquita, Sienna, did you still miss that interaction with your biological mom?
Yes, it was a one point in time where I was like, I always wanted to be around my mama and
Mm-hmm.
miss her. And when I got around her, it wasn't how I thought it would be. So it was just
Mm,
I'd rather stay with my mother.
right.
Took care of me. So yeah,
Right.
it was like that at first, but now no.
Okay. So tell me a little bit about that, because you have the great dynamics with mom and Jay. You have that great dynamic there. You have the wonderful household. Your dad is involved in stuff like that. But I still yearn for my mom, and I wanted to try to have that relationship. So in trying to have that relationship with your mother, what did that look like?
Um, I'm trying to see how I could put this. Jesus.
Let me see. Let me think. What did you feel like you were missing? Maybe that might help you a little bit more.
Like my everybody. So when I was in like middle school, everybody else had their real mother. Even though I had a mom that watched and took care of me, I still wanted like my real mom. Everybody else had theirs, and I think I just wanted the like her physically being here. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's what it was. I think that's all that really was bothering me at one point in time, that I didn't have a real mom. Well, I do, but
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't around.
Right. She wasn't around. So, was there a time that you ever did engage and try to have that relationship?
I did when I went out there. I think I was like 14, and stuff didn't. It wasn't like I said. It wasn't how I really thought it was gonna be.
Right. Jay, how did you feel? Like, my
Me,
baby is going
yeah.
over there. My
Mhm.
baby.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was open to it more or less because I got to know her mom as a person. I don't judge for whatever the situation may have been at the time. Times was hard back in those days, poverty. And like we said, Hurricane Katrina had hit. So I believe that her intentions was good. But I think over time, with my brother being present, even though my husband and I was raised in CC and he would come around and be around and be present and in the midst, I think he grew uh he began to become angry. But I was more or less as she was getting older saying, well, maybe she wants the time with her mom because when she would be sad or mad about things, thank God no depression or anything like that, but she just had her moments where I wanted her to be more open
Yeah.
with
But
expressing
how did you
herself.
feel? You gave me all of that, but you didn't tell me how did you feel?
I told you how her dad felt, and then her parameters.
Right.
My husband, he wasn't too keen on the idea. She came up with the idea that she wanted to go. Her dad and her godfather was against it, and I was able to tell them, "Hey, maybe this is what she needs based off my experience of just being stuck with my grandmother." I was hurt, but I think it was selfish hurt. It
Mhm.
wasn't about me at the time. I think my
Yeah.
baby was just trying to fill a void. And
Yeah.
I knew that I was not Cece's biological mother. And no matter how open I was, I don't think I was able to get her to the point where I could get her to really understand that, you're searching for something that's possibly not there. And I don't want your feelings to be hurt. So
Mm.
I will. I will allow you to go, and we all agreed, all three of us, we allowed her to go, and she came back how I thought she would come back, which I was hurt because she wanted to, but I understood because I'm a mother.
Yeah.
If I didn't have my kids and one day I had the opportunity to see my kids, I would do everything I can to make it great. And so I chose not to be selfish, even though Cece was our baby. Um,
Yeah.
I chose to respect what Cece felt
Yeah.
at the time, and I
That's
let her
good.
go. And so she went, and it didn't last long. And when she went, she was disappointed. She was ready to come home. Not mistreated or anything, but I think the voice she was trying to fill, it just made a gaping hole, even
Yeah.
more than what it was. But I was feeling a little sad that she wanted to, because I thought I could give it all I had. But
Right. Right. But even in giving all you had,
mhm,
it's that
I couldn't.
is that mom, right? It's
Mhm,
the biological effect of the mom,
mhm,
so Cece, you went over there, you realized like, hey, this is not exactly what I thought it was. I'm gonna go back. Was it hard for you to ask the go back, come back, or you was like, yeah, my bag's at the door, I'm ready?
It wasn't hard. I just told him I was ready to come home because like I didn't I didn't want to be over there anymore. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't nothing bad that happened. It's
mhm.
just that I wasn't used to what she was.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
You
I
wasn't.
wasn't used to it.
Used to that lifestyle versus what you had. Yeah. So, did you guys ever talk about that situation for that short time where you left and then you came back? So, to identify, like, hey, this is how I was feeling. Maybe Jaquita say, I was a little hurt, but I wanted you to get that experience because you needed to get that
Right.
experience, right?
Yeah,
We want to be selfish and protect you guys, but
Yep.
we talked about it and it was okay. I like she didn't feel any type of way. I didn't feel any type of way. It was just she wanted me to experience what she was telling me about, and I did. And after that,
right.
I was to go back.
Yeah. And sometimes we got to learn things because we got to learn things. We don't always
Right.
listen, right? Because we think sometimes we know and know that can't be it. So we
Right.
got to learn things how we learn things. So it
Right.
sounds like you guys have open communication. Do you guys feel like you can talk about any and everything?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't.
Okay. That's fair. That is
That's
really
more than
fair.
fair. Um, well, for me, I feel like I'm an open book, and I'm not that parent that would shunt her children. stay in the child's place, be quiet. I think you understand the way I do, Ellison, dealing with mental health and trauma and just ways of life that we don't shunt our kids. So I tried to be not the best friend. And Cece will tell you, I never tried to be her best friend. I was more or less trying to get her to understand, hey, this is the way of the world. Open communication is what we have to have, and accountability and respect is how we're going to follow. Um, I don't know at what point I was so open, I guess. I don't know if I scared her off.
Could we be too open as parents though?
Yeah, I think we could be too open as parents, but I wasn't too open. I was, because we wasn't at one point. At one point, I don't think she could really tell me a secret. Now I feel like tell me a secret.
Okay,
But I
Sienna.
was trying to get her to understand that I am here for you. I'm not asking you to tell me every detail of things, but just know you don't have to. Sometimes you can get misleading information from people on the outside, like your friend.
Right.
I just wanted her to know that I was an open book for her if she needed it.
That's good. Sienna, when did you realize that, hey, I can talk to my mom and tell her things? She might not always like it, but I can talk to her, because she said I felt like she wasn't, she wasn't telling me secrets. She was, sometimes you hold things in, and we get it. Y'all are going to do that, just like we don't tell, everything. Mm-hmm. But when did you realize, like, hey, I do have that safe place in mom where I can have that conversation?
Tell her when.
After I had my baby.
After you had your baby.
It was after.
It was after that, because it was like, all right, I'm pregnant, I got a baby, I gotta tell you something. So I think after I got comfortable after I had my baby.
Too comfortable.
Right. Why did it take after I had my baby to be comfortable when your mom is always, and I'm not saying this just to you, so I'm directing it even to our audience, the mothers and the daughters. Why is it that we feel like we can't come, even though our mom presents and creates the space where you can come? So what was hindering you from feeling like, hey, I can really talk to her?
What was stopping you from feeling like that?
At first, to be honest, I don't really know why I didn't come, tell her stuff in the beginning. Before I had my baby, I was always just quiet. I just kept everything to myself. I really don't know why at the time.
Did I ever make you feel uncomfortable at any point? You just chose to.
Okay. So I think one question says, Sienna, did you ever feel Quita was overprotective? And then overprotective?
I did. There were certain things she would let me do, but now I understand why.
We got to park right there a minute.
Yes.
So you said sometimes, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe she's overprotective, right? Probably like, Cece, don't do this, and why are you doing that, and make sure you check this one, and who that little boy, and what's his mama name, and blah 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 blah.
You can't spend a night out over there,
right? And you're not staying over there, and you didn't understand. So now you're saying you kind of understand. Why do you feel you understand more now?
Because I have a baby now.
Yes.
I wouldn't let my daughter do the things that my mama didn't let me do, because I understand. I see why.
That's good. That's good. So it's only because you had the baby, or do you think you was understanding a little more?
I got older. When I got older, eventually I understand why. I understood why, and seeing other things that could have happened and didn't happen. It was just to protect me and. Yeah.
Right. Yes. And that's what we do. We try to protect you. And not all mother-daughter relationships, they understand that, because, a lot of times moms have been through some things and we don't want our daughters to go through. Right. It's a slippery slope, because it has to be a balance, because you don't want to project all the things that you've been through onto your child either. But then you also want to make sure, hey, just be mindful of this, because this is what's going on. The other question is for you, Sienna. It says, with Quita being in the mental health field, do you ever feel like she tried to diagnose or give you therapy?
Really?
No, not really as therapy. Like, she asked me, "Are you okay? How are you doing mentally and physically?" But it was never like a.
I'm gonna get Eric.
Like a whole session. She put you on the
No, she
couch.
never tried.
No,
No, she never tried to do nothing like that.
but I
Okay.
do ask to
Yeah,
make
you.
sure
I
she's
said you
okay.
asked.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah.
agreeing with CC. I've never tried to sit her down and cross my legs and have a pen and pad. And but
All
no.
right, so that when you have so you got the open communication, the understanding, do you feel like there was ever a time where respect, especially when we go through that teenage stage where you're a little bit more mouthy and your body language is not the best and moms want to snatch up. Do you ever feel a little time that the respect had dwindled a little bit?
Um,
That's for both you
for
guys.
me,
Because from Cece, your perspective as well as yours, Jay.
Mhm.
to me, I really didn't have like I said stuff, but it was like a respectable way. I feel like I didn't go far with it. I always kept it respectfully because
Mhm.
that's what I'm.
All
Okay.
right, so
That's just
yeah, I agree with CC 100%. She's never gotten to where it had gotten to where she became disrespectful. But I
Mhm.
think Ellison is saying, do you feel like I've always possibly respected your boundaries and you respected mine?
yeah. We respected each other's boundaries.
Um,
No, nobody ever got disrespectful.
and I can see where the mouthy part, I will say I saw a phase where Sienna became so mouthy, but not like in a disrespectful manner, but disrespectful.
Yeah.
Um, it was kind of like
The way,
the what it
way,
was this
way
was
I
when
say
I
it.
tell her something, it's not to receive a response. It's because I am communicating with you and telling you what you did wrong and how we need to correct it. But
Mhm.
it's like in the back of her head, it's like, wait, she's listening to speak,
Mm.
listening to understand. And
Right.
that's where I think we bumped head in those few years where
Yeah.
I was just trying to tell her that sometimes you need to listen and so you can understand what I'm saying, but not listen
Mhm.
to respond. And we
Right.
bumped heads for years with that. I would say from at least 12 to about 16 years old. And then I
Ooh.
think she started to understand that when I tell her stuff, it's not always for a response. So
Yeah.
now that she's older, even prior to her having the baby, she began to understand. So when I would tell her something, she was listening to understand, not listening to respond. So I would say for me, I think that she's improved tremendously in that area on my end. And I have to give her kudos and props for that because it made me understand and realize that she respects me and she's listening.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's good. So I want to talk because we talked a lot about the baby, the beautiful baby girl. We talked a lot about her. So I want to say how do you feel now that you have your own and your mom's not present? Feel um do you feel any kind of way because like, well, now I have my own baby and my mom is not present in her life either? Like, does that ever cross your mind or anything like that?
No, not really. Like I said, I got used to not my mom not being around, so it was like, okay, since the baby's here, this is your grandmother. I don't seek that same attention I used to seek when I was little.
That's good. That's
That's a
good. That's good.
good, good.
That was a really good answer because sometimes the yearning for the relationship is like, well, maybe now, that she's older, you're older, now maybe we can, formulate a different kind of relationship, but like you said, you're like, hey, this is your grandmother and you keep it like that. So as of now, what is the relationship with your mother like now? Because I think you said you was 14 at the time
You
and you was
know,
like, I'm going back. So do you have one now?
we have a relationship, but it's not like on a motherly type of relationship. It's like I don't want to say like that's my
It's
friend, but like that's
it's more like a check-in.
right. I don't. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
not speaking for CC. I'm just saying what I see.
N- So
We,
it's more like a check-in.
yeah, you could say that.
Okay. And how
Mhm.
does that make you feel?
Doesn't feel, I don't feel it. I don't. I'm okay with it as long
That's
as we.
good. That's good. Because sometimes people, they still yearn, and I have people, being in the mental health field, they 40s and 50s, and they're still yearning like the relationship. But it sounds like perhaps because of the love that you received so much, that the void that may have been empty was not really, it didn't have a chance to get empty. What do you guys think?
Right. So when my husband and I chose to take Sienna as ours, and my brother was saying at the time, due to Hurricane Katrina, that he couldn't do it, um, I just figured maybe I could step in and do the best I can to fill that spot to where she doesn't really necessarily feel like she went without anything as far as a mother. And that's just how the dynamics of it just worked. And I feel like I did the best I could, and I feel like I did a good job with it. And I'm glad to know that you really genuinely love me, love me.
Oh, y'all getting so bushy. So
Yeah,
now, Jay, you have a grandbaby.
I do. So me, my husband, and my brother walking around here as grandparents, and I'm giddy about it. I will say that when I found out she was having a baby, I was more disappointed in the area of, were you really listening to me? As far as grow up, go to college, do your thing. In time, babies will come. Um, I felt like that part of it was still the old Sienna, where I'm gonna do what I want to do. Not with the intentions of, you know, conceiving a child.
Producing the baby.
Yes. But it happened, and I think that was like a whoa, like now I really get it. I think she was starting to get it in the few years prior to the baby,
Mm-hmm.
but on some areas it's where the secrecy still lie in the
Mm-hmm.
relationship of not opening up to me 100%. As she said a few minutes ago, she felt like she became 100% open once
Yeah.
she had the baby. And look, it's so true, y'all. She's too open. Some of it, I be like, this is not the openness I was looking for. Extremely open. Well, Ma, come
Well,
here, let
that's
me tell you.
good.
Yes, it is. I'm grateful for it. But with the baby, I feel like babies are a blessing. And I think that her and her dad has had a good relationship. It has its highs and it had its lows. But
Mm-hmm.
I am so grateful and blessed for the baby, because I think their relationship has did a total 360.
Yeah, it's
And
good.
now they're open with each other as well, because the secrecy lied in that area as well. She just was so secretive at one point. I
Mm-hmm.
just kind of felt like maybe it was just a void of not having a mom, but she was
Right.
just secretive, not just with me, her dad, her parents. She just was secretive. But their relationship, not me and Cece's relationship, but their relationship has done a 360. And
That's
to
good.
me, I feel like Dior is the reason for it. And I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I think that is part of the reason. So,
Yeah, that's good. That's
mhm,
good. I mean, it's good. Babies are a blessing. She's here. She's beautiful and everything else. So,
mhm.
Cece, what were you going through at the time that you were so secretive? Like, what was you going through?
Like I said, I wasn't. It was nothing wrong. I just kept everything to myself. I still don't know why. I really don't know. Like nothing was wrong. It was just me being closed. I just never.
Mhm.
I'm not. I'm not
It
expressing.
was having two daddies.
No, it wasn't.
Go ahead.
Right. So, I mean, because sometimes, we don't want to say anything and stuff like that because, the dynamics of the dads, and I know both of them. So,
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry in advance, but
There you go.
but I say what were you going through is because sometimes it's like, well, I just want to live my life for me, and as parents,
Mhm.
especially mothers, we want to say, hey, don't, you shouldn't do this and make sure you don't do that. And it's like, well, I just want to live my life for me. Nobody seems to understand, so I'm going to go ahead and do what I want. That's
Right,
why I was saying, what were you going through at the time?
right.
Were you scared to come up and tell you were pregnant?
Yeah.
Look at my eyes.
Yes. I was like, okay. So I found out I was pregnant around December.
When you had the flu.
Yeah, I
That
was
was January.
sick.
Yeah, Miss, I have food poisoning.
That's what.
Uh-huh.
No, that's when I really found out. It was after my birthday, January. We went to the doctor, the little clinic up there, because my stomach was hurting, and my daddy from the previous night he had cooked for us, and I couldn't eat nothing, so I thought I was sick, but I knew I wasn't sick. So I had to make it seem like, all right,
You know your daddy watching this show.
Look, it's over now. It's over now, Dad. Don't do it.
There ain't
Don't
nothing
do
you
it.
can do.
But it
Don't
was
do it.
seriously.
Okay.
I really did really confirmed it. Like I thought I was, but it really hit me once when we went to the doctor.
Which was in March, so yeah.
No, we went to the
Before
doctor
that-
in January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say y'all went to the doctor.
that's
Yeah,
when
it
I
wasn't no
really-
March. She would have been big and pregnant.
I'm
by
sorry,
March.
it's March when I found out.
That's when I told him after my parent birthday. It was like around March 30th.
Yeah.
I told him.
Yeah, and look, I'll make you laugh. My brother swear I knew. And I was like, I'm just as dumbfounded as you.
Yeah.
But
That's
yes.
good. So in the whole dynamic, I mean, it's nothing we can do now, right? When you're pregnant, it's nothing we can do. So what did that
Yeah, you
do
can-
for y'all relationship as a mother-daughter? Did it strain it? Did it make it closer? Like what did finding out, oh my gosh, my baby's having a baby? Because Cece, you was getting ready. Because you graduated after you had the Dior.
Yeah, I graduated in December 23.
Mhm.
So how did that help, hinder, or make the relationship better? Yeah.
I don't know. It's just I don't know how to say it.
My mama she wasn't so bad after all. Was that it?
No,
She said no, that wasn't it.
It was never bad.
Never bad.
Mhm.
It's just okay. The baby coming.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna need some support.
so Jay,
No.
how did you feel? How did you feel?
I was
She was
I
sad.
cried. I cried when I found out my baby was having a baby. And me being a mother that couldn't have a baby for a while, I just wanted her to enjoy some of the things of life being young, like going to college, living in the dorm room, and different things like that. So I was disappointed. I cried, and it didn't last long. It was more or less, why did she wait so long to tell me? More or less is what it
Yeah.
was.
Because where's that close relationship that we had that you waited so long? So that's the question, Cece. The baby's here now. Why did you wait so long if we had this great relationship?
I was scared. I didn't know how to.
There you go. I was scared.
I was terrified.
And that's good. That's how you know you have a good relationship. That's how you know you respect your parents. Because man, I'm scared.
You're scared.
I'm scared. This is real right now. I'm scared.
Yeah,
right?
but I was hurt. But I will honestly say once I got over it really quick, because I know everything happens for a reason. And being a woman who struggled to have one, I could not knock the blessing of God blessing her with the baby. And it's on His timing. And look, it was perfect timing because I can't imagine life without little Dior now. So, and like I said, her and her dad's relationship is amazing, and her parent. And look, Jeremy was so calm. He always calm as a bird. Him and his big brother Eric, they be calm for the storm, I guess. I don't know, but he told everybody it's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through it. It's not the end of the world, and nobody died.
Yeah,
We
right.
got to keep kicking from here. And I took his advice as what he said. Talking to you, Ellison, like you said, we got a baby. So we had to accept that we had a baby coming, and I think our relationship at that point, I think that's when she started to shift with me. It wasn't bad. It's just like it was no more secrets to.
Yeah. Well, because
and-
I was asking because some mother-daughter relationships, there's some things that cause strains on relationship, right?
Yep.
And there's a lot of mother-daughters who have strains on relationship. So I didn't know if there was anything that ever caused a strain, maybe not years and years like some people, but
Mhm.
was there anything in your relationship that ever caused like a strain?
I was able to tell Cece when she was having a baby, um, my sadness that I felt that she was having a baby. I told her I love her and we'll get past it, but this is how I feel. She had a moment where she cried, and it hurt me to see that I hurt her for her to cry. But I was only trying to express to her my feelings of what I felt, and I did tell her that we'll get through it, and I love her, and we're gonna raise her, and we're gonna be one big happy family. And but I did have my opportunity, and I don't think you held it against me, did you? I just need to know because I'm not
I
sure.
think, well, no, I think that's good and powerful that you say that, because that's the one thing some mothers and daughters don't do, right?
Mhm,
They don't allow each other to express their feelings. And there's a
mhm,
way, right, that we should express it doesn't have to be yelling and hollering, but
mhm,
we should definitely be able to respect,
mhm,
hey, you know what, I'm hurting right now. I'm a little sad right now, and whatever that may be. But sometimes because of the strain from for whatever reason, or the different perceptions of relationships, they can't be as open and honest with their feelings. And that's what caused a mother and daughter not to have closeness, because
right,
now I'm not honest,
right.
right? So
Mhm.
with that being said, Cece, I know you were scared. Quita, do you feel like, was the trust broken a little bit? Do you feel?
Um,
Go ahead, Cece. What you got? She starts to
I
laugh.
don't feel like it was broken. I feel like it got stronger since the baby been here. Like I
Mm-hmm.
can tell my mom anything, it
Okay.
won't bother me like how it used to.
Right.
you heard her trying got stronger. Mine been
Uh-huh.
there. I just
But
needed her to open up the
do you feel
conversation.
the trust was broken, Jay? Because it's like, you my baby. I thought we were good and everything, and then you didn't tell me. I'm finding out like
Yeah.
like at the ninth hour. Now we got to do baby shower. We got to do this. We got to get this. We got to do that. We got to do this. And you telling me all of this. So like, how did you feel about that?
It put a strain on it for me. I because I was sad. I was disappointed. I felt like I gave her all I had, and
You about to cry? What you about to cry for?
but
So,
we
and then to piggyback off of what you're saying,
Mhm.
because I see you getting emotional, and I feel like I'm getting emotional because I don't understand. I don't think sometimes daughters understand that we give so much of
You just
us
cry.
that
Okay.
it almost takes a part of us away, but we still keep giving. So
Right.
when we're let down, it hurts, right? The
Right.
good thing about you guys, at least you was able to say it, but there's so many mother daughters out there that are running around hurting, and it hasn't been explained, and then
Right.
we wonder why we can't, get there. And we say we hope they understand one day. And Cece, now that you have a baby girl, you will understand,
Mhm.
right? You just will.
Mhm.
You got
Yep.
all of
It's
the support, but you just still
coming.
will understand. So that's what hurts. It's like, I've done everything that I could do to make sure you were
Mhm.
better
Right.
than what I had. Right, Jay? I think that's a little bit why you was
No,
getting
that
emotional.
yeah, so that's it. It's not that I'm displeased or unhappy or anything like that. I just felt hurt in the moment of I gave you all I had, and the stuff I've been through, she never had to experience or endure.
Mm-hmm.
So I just was trying to get her to understand. And I don't think I ever really threw it in her face to say, "Be glad you got me." I've had my moments where I've said, "I've made sure you was good." And I just felt like I was hurt because I just wanted that in return,
Mm-hmm.
and I missed out on some little stages maybe of the pregnancy
Yeah.
and stuff
Yeah.
that she deprived me of. But like she said, I believe our relationship is stronger. I think the communication is amazing. Um, I don't know. She's awesome. I wouldn't trade her for the world. I think that I wanted two kids,
I'm the
and
first.
you what?
I'm the firstborn.
She's the firstborn.
She's the first.
So I think God knew what He was doing. I wanted two. I can only get pregnant with one, and I think that was Him saying, "This is your two. This is how you're
Yeah.
gonna do it." So, CC, first in my life. Stop it.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
So she told Jeremiah that I lied to him and said that he was the firstborn. She wasn't. He wasn't the first. She told Jeremiah that I really came. She came from my womb, and she's trying to understand why would I lie to Jeremiah and tell him he's my only born. And Jeremiah started to believe her, and he really started thinking he was the second child. He is the second child, but
He is.
he thought CC was biologically ours because she
Right.
planted that in his brain.
I look like her, and he looked like my parents.
So
Yep,
that's
exactly.
so Jeremiah was
Exactly.
trying to believe it for a little while, but I think it's cute. It's a little
Yeah.
joke. Mhm.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
Mhm.
So, Sienna, is a question for you. It says, what will you learn? What did you learn from your mom that you will instill in your daughter?
To be open with me, like the stuff I didn't do, I would want her to do or try to like understand it, I guess.
Understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Like what do you want her to do?
Just how you was with me, basically.
Be
Be
open.
open. Don't hide anything. I don't know. It's still new.
Okay, it's still,
She
it's still new. So tell our viewers, how old is that beautiful baby?
just made 9 months on the 17th.
So when she say it's still new, y'all, it's still new, y'all. But
It's
you
fresh.
still have to start looking at some of the things like, okay, what is it that I mimic that my mom did, right? Because we do tend to mimic our mom's behavior. So what is it that I mimic? Do you see anything that you do now that your mom did with you?
Right now, no, not right now. But like I feel
Okay.
like in the future, yes, like try to like be protective over her and try to teach her from the wrongs what the wrong is and what right is. Stuff
That's
like
right. That's good. That's good. Yeah, so that's good. All right. So
She said that
y'all,
I took over and I think that Dior is
that.
mine.
She does.
So
how do you feel about that?
yeah, be honest.
So this is what she do.
She asked me how do you feel?
We goes in a store, Walmart or something. We're in a restaurant, and the people be like, "Oh, your baby's so cute," and guess what she said? She be like, "Oh, thank you," and I'm right here. Like, that's not your baby, but I understand. But like, when I'm not here, then you could say thank you. It doesn't feel any way type of way. It's just like it's my baby.
I think you feel some kind of way because I remember a phone call being made to the house. And the phone call went like this: "What's Dior doing?" And you said, "Oh, never mind me."
Oh,
And she does that all the time. So she's so jealous. So look,
I'm not jealous.
let me tell you what happens. Sienna's dad, her dad, Corey, he FaceTimes us. And when he FaceTimes them,
Where
he
Dior?
say, "Hey, Papa, baby." And he'll say, "Let me see your teeth." And the baby will smile. And he didn't acknowledge Sienna because Sienna answered the FaceTime. And she's like, "Hi, Dad. I'm right here. How are you?" So she does that all the time with everybody when she feel like the attention isn't on her. She does. She get jealous.
Well, I mean, I would agree, Sienna. Don't forget about me, right? I'm still here. I'm still here. So I agree with you, Sienna. Like, listen, what y'all not gonna do is forget about me because I'm still here too.
She sat on my lap the other night. We was watching TV. She said, "I'm gonna sit on your lap." I said, "My legs going numb." She said, "It's okay. I'm gonna sit here, and this is where I really want to sit." I said, "Are you serious? Serious?" She said, "I'm absolutely serious. Dior is in that sleep, and I want your undivided attention." And then she took her arm and
That's
put it
good.
around my neck and was demanding attention. And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
Well, I
really
mean,
feel like
I appreciate that because sometimes kids, regardless, I mean, we know you have your baby, but you're still a young adult, right? You're still young and you still desire that attention,
And you
so
like
that's good because some kids won't do that. They will rebel and all this other stuff. And some kids, you can't find them. They be in the house, in their room, in the phone. They don't want to talk or anything else. And that's another strain on relationships is because the child will be a recluse, right? So Cece, do you feel like you're more involved in the family as a whole, or you recluse, or is that you have a healthy balance?
It's a healthy balance because like before I had her, I was always in my room on my phone, stuck in my room. I only come out when it was like time to eat and stuff like that. Afterwards,
She want family time. It's
Yeah.
movie night.
What's
That's
this? What was the shift, Cece?
the baby.
Just one
I
Baby.
baby.
just, it's.
You don't know? It just came out of
Yeah,
nowhere.
it just feel like
Maybe
the
she
baby.
realized the importance of family, I guess, and
Y'all so funny. But still, I mean, that's good. That's good. What was you gonna say?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I love it. I
Y'all are
wouldn't
so
change it for the
funny.
world. I feel like everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I do
Well,
believe
I love the dynamic that you guys have because sometimes mother-daughter relationships, they can be toxic,
Mhm.
right?
What?
Sometimes they can be overbearing. We talked about that, the narcissistic mom, the enmeshed mom, the controlling mom. We talked about all of that, but it sounds like you guys have a healthy balance, and that's what's important, is to have a healthy balance in a relationship, right? So, by you guys having that healthy balance, and Quita, you was like, well, I always wanted to. Did you ever feel like you wanted to have another one?
Yeah, I did. I wanted to have another baby. Shortly after Jeremiah, I think Cece might have been 8. Jeremiah was about 4, maybe. Well, that's when I started realizing I was okay that I didn't have another one. I'm sorry, but
Right. I was gonna say, wait, they were older then. You were like,
me,
no, I'm good.
yeah. So let me go back a little bit. I think when Jeremiah was about 1, CC had to be about 5. I was like, well, let me see if I can have another. And I tried and we tried and I just couldn't get another one. And I had to think back and reflect on my past of, how it went. And I was like, you know what? This is the Lord saying this is not true. So then when Jeremiah was able to run his own bathwater and color coordinate his clothes, I was
Man,
like,
and make that sandwich and you didn't have to get up in the morning.
I still be doing that. But yeah, you're right.
Oh, that's right. And best mom. So
Mhm.
if
But
there
he
was
does
one
wash his
thing,
own clothes and everything. Don't listen to Ellison. CC, stop.
I know, Cece, if there was one thing you guys felt like y'all could work on in your relationship a little bit more, what would that one thing be?
I want CC to answer that.
I was coming to Cece first.
Okay.
Oh, we could like start going like having a girls' date. That would be nice. Cause she's always working. I'm stuck in the house, always working. We don't have time to really just sit down and relax.
That's good. That's really good.
You waiting on me?
Yes.
I will be so honest. I agree with CC. We just got to find more time to do the mother daughter time, the family time. We're so family oriented that we just have to get back to it. I think what happened for me was for Mother's Day to have 4 generations sit in my presence made me happy because I'm a family person and I get that from my grandmother a lot. So it's my mom, myself, Cece, and her baby. And
Right.
I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, this is 4 generations.
Yeah.
I was saying we gotta take this as we have it because everybody don't have that. Most people just get 2, maybe slightly 3. When my grandma was alive 4 years ago, Cece may not have had the baby, but we had 5. So now we to 4, and it's okay. So I look at stuff like that. I'm just so caught up in family, and you already know that, Ellison. I'm such a family person. I love to have fun. I love to have a good time.
Yeah, you can be caught up in family, but shouldn't each individual have their time?
Mhm,
Because there's
'cause
only 4 y'all.
oh
Like,
my God, yes, we should. Because Cece and my mama demands my time. And I guess I need to find a way to slow myself down.
yeah,
I'm so caught up in work.
yeah,
I guess that's her way right there. I mean, I guess I
yeah.
need to give more time. But the time I do feel like I do try to give.
You try.
Well, I'm not gonna tell y'all what I feel about the word try, but I would say this, right?
Mhm.
I would definitely say this as a as a mom, right, who does desire to have better relationships with her daughters.
Mhm.
Take advantage. She said she wants to spend time with you because there's a lot of us mothers out there that want to spend time with our daughters, but we
Mhm.
don't because maybe they're too busy or they don't want to spend time. So I would just say to all the moms, not just you, Jay, if your daughter is asking for that time, then spend that time with your daughter, because I would love, like me, I would love to have the mother daughter relationship where we going out to restaurants, when we going out shopping. Like, I would absolutely love to have that. You know, with my first one, you know, we're estranged, and with my second daughter, I mean, we don't have a bad relationship. We just got a relationship. It just is. It just exists because she's my daughter and her mom. So whenever you can, cultivate that mother and daughter relationship, because there's a lot of mothers yearning for a mother daughter relationship, and there's a lot of daughters yearning for a mother daughter relationship, right?
Yep, I agree.
So cultivate that, even if it's an hour going Starbucks.
Yep, you're right. We went and got our toes done maybe what, about a month or two ago?
It was a month ago. Me, her, and my grandmother.
Okay. So yeah, so just make sure you cultivate that relationship, right? And I just think it's good that, you know, she does want to spend that time. So
I
make
agree.
sure y'all have that.
I'll make sure I do a little better on that part. But
I
because
do
what she's
better.
asking is not a lot.
It's
And we
not a
not
lot.
done tomorrow. And as far as me to you, CC, I want you to know that I am very proud of you. Oh God, she loves her kudos, and
That's
you see her
right.
confidence through the roof. I wonder where she get that from. But anyway, even with everything she's pushing forward to go to school, even though she had a baby and now she has a job, and she's just a little hustler. So I want to tell you, I appreciate you. You know, grinding and wanting to do the right thing, and she's getting ready for to register for pharmacy tech school.
Amen.
So
Yes.
pharmacy technician, I support
Yes.
her, and I told her, she said she feels nervous about starting and taking the classes, and I told her I
Mhm.
support her every step of the way. I don't feel like CC and I can improve on my end. I feel like I just want us to continue to love each other. And
Mhm.
the new relationship we have, since it's so fresh, I would just want it to continue to be fresh. I don't want it to dry. I don't want it to be dead. I just want it to keep blossoming.
Right. And we do that like any relationship, we cultivate it.
Yep.
Right? We have, if we don't, then it becomes stagnant, right? So I'm so glad that you guys decided to just, you know, continue to do the show and come on and share, you know, the dynamics of your relationship, because I think that's really important for people to know that, you know, even though I don't have my biological mom, I can still get that mother-daughter bond from someone who loves me, right? And the other part, I want to say this, not is this one is not directed to you. This one is directed mostly to the mothers that are looking for the relationship. Just like some daughters can find someone that pulls them in and be a mom and love on them, you might have to find someone else that can love on you and will allow you to love on them back, you know, and grieve the relationship that you wish you had with
Mhm.
your kids, and just respect the ones and just be engaged in the ones that you do have. It doesn't take the place by no means, but you know, God put somebody in your life that will help you maneuver through it, because again, there are a lot of mothers struggling with relationships, as well as daughters are
Right.
struggling with relationships with their mothers, right? So
Right.
all right, ladies, before we go, give us a nugget, please.
What's a nugget?
I guess the nugget is, she said, "What's a nugget?" So, all
Oh,
right.
just something
So,
you would leave to the audience with people who might not have their
have them,
mom but have a relationship and stuff like that.
I guess
Well,
she
Jay,
does
you're
know
gonna have to give the
how to
nugget.
answer it. Okay. So, my nugget is for every woman out there, or every boy, girl, dad, whatever
Anybody
the
don't
case
have a
may
mother.
be, anybody that's missing that side of a nurturing relationship with the mother. Um, I say, if the opportunity has passed or gone and that person isn't present, then you just have to accept the things you cannot change. I agree with Ellison. Just find or latch on to a place or a space where somebody will give you that opportunity. And for those of you who still have a mother and the relationship might not be the greatest, some you can't go back to. You choose to leave it in the past. But those of you who can, remember, it's never too late to salvage what could possibly be. Because when that individual is gone, whether it's the mother or the child or the children, it's gone. So whatever may be out there, and if you can kindle it and it's possible and it's not damaged, let's not live in ignorance.
That's
Let's
good.
try and move forward and
That's
make things
good.
work. Even if it's a small or it's just tiny steps, doesn't hurt. So if you're a mother out there and you're not in your child's life and you want to find a way, it's not too late. And vice versa. If you're a child and you're seeking some type of love from a parent, even if you're an adult, express that to that parent.
Mm-hmm.
Express that and let them know, hey, I know we had a traumatic past, but where can we go from here? It's never too late.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you for that so much. I appreciate you ladies again for being on the show. So give me 1 second and I'll be right back, right? So
Okay.
listen, guys, you've been watching Real Talk with Ellison. And again, if you are on Facebook, like and share. If you are on YouTube, go ahead and hit the bell so you know when we go live. I just would like to say this, right? There's mother-daughter relationships are complex, right? There's tenderness born and the inherent similarities that mother and daughter share. However, sometimes them similarities can also cause conflict and cause a disconnect in relationships, right? So I would say this to either the mother or the daughter: if you desire a relationship, make sure both of you guys are fighting for the relationship, because if not, you're just fighting alone and you'll get hurt and be discouraged, right? And that's not what we want. We want you to feel, deal, and heal. But remember, it takes two, right? So, with that being said, next Thursday, we are going to have our counselor on, and she's going to help us through this whole process of how to deal with, feel, dealing, and healing with the mother daughter relationships. Again, thank you for watching Real Talk with Ellison. God bless.